Sudaikma. This tutorial we're going to see how to create a Helloword program using SpringMVC. As we know about SpringMVC, so this is model view controller. We're going to create flexible and loosely coupled web application. So before we get into this actual implementation, there are a few prerequisites for SpringMVC. First one is JDK and IDE and Maven and Tomcat server to run our application. So in this tutorial, I'm going to use JDK8 and then Spring STS toolsuite and Tomcat version 8 and Maven 3. So let's see how to create a full project structure using Maven project. So Maven project is, I'm going to give it go. Since it is a web application, I'm just click web application. So since it's a Helloword program, I just given group ID as com.helloworld artifact ID equal to helloworld. So that's it. Project structure has been created with sample.xml, and then we have to provide some dependencies to support Spring framework. So here, in this way, we can add a dependency Spring framework SpringMVC. I'm going to use 4.0.6 dot release as complete one. Other one is Solid API. IX. I don't want to add this API to packaging providing scope is provided. So that's all. On saving this form.xml, it will pick up transitive dependencies and then it will be added here. Yes, it has been added. The next part is we have to edit our web.xml to filter out what are the requests which we're going to pass it to dispatch servlet to minimize this one. So this is an old one, so this is the latest one, and we need to provide a servlet name. Or the string work dot servlet we have given a correct name here. So this is class. Copy. One more parameter provide is init parameter. Init parameter is for Spring Bean configuration. Here we provide camel case with context config location. The pattern value is going to be inside diagonal class config slash helloworld all configuration done. Mapping as name should be seen as above setting and URL pattern. I'm going to forward the request which has itself.xml is done. The next part is we have to create this config file inside webnf config. So I'm going to create a folder inside webnf config, and I'm going to create a Spring configuration bean. Since it's an STS, we have Spring configuration bean. I created with that one. So there are created. So there are a few namespaces which we are required inside it that are all context and MVC parameter. That's all. After that, go to source. Then we get the SpringMVC container to say we're going to be annotation driven context component. We didn't still have create, still didn't create any component scan base package for controller. Here I'm going to create that one. So until that, we just let it that like that. The class from uh, this is just a simple Pojo, doesn't have any pin configuration or interface implementation or any extents here. So this is our base package, so we need to provide it here. And then I'm going to write controller here. So since it's annotation based one, we have an annotation for controller to make it as a controller. So control space doesn't have any assist here. Controller, and then I'm going to write a method or MVC. So if you want to see any JSP page, we need to add then model. This is a kind of a hash map. That's hash map which is going to be add key value pair. Hello. So that's all it's created. And then one more point we have to add that URL mapping. We need to tell the container, the method, what is the request is going to be handled. So the request if we have say hello, it will handle. So after the execution of this controller, it will return a string greet to dispatch a solid, and then internally dispatch a solid, pass it to internal view solver. So here we need to provide that internal view solver here. That class is and I'm going to use IntelliSense and then it has two properties. We already have extended prefix. Prefix is going to be inside a webAIN of slash fix. So that's all we are told that what we have to, and then we have to create a folder called JSP inside that webAIN. There is reason to create JSP page inside this for security purpose and then not bookmarking and then so basically say that for security reasons we're going to create like this one. We name save as read.jsp, but we have written it from the controller greet, then greet.jsp. Here we're going to use string expression language, so that name will be here greeting. So that's all. Server from here, then just started. Now we can test our application on run server. So application it is required for restart and then just give it test restart. Yeah, this is by default page from .jsp Helloword, and then it will serve the request which has hello.html. Just load for all the mappings and beans. Hi, this is no hello world. It's rendered the hello world from the JSP file already we have configured. So pause the request. Hello. Okay, if you see here our hello world servlet.xml has been loaded, and then it will map the request to this safe world. You can see the output from the controller in the JSP page. You see the JSP page greetings. So this is the key value we have configured. So that's all. Thank you.